SMT Nation, we back. Nation, I want to call back to an article from last year. Well, I should say earlier this year. It's dated February 1st, 2023. Feels like forever ago, but it's very, I'd say, relevant right now. Fixed wireless access, 5G home internet, cable, fiber, this fierce competition happening in home ISP. And we keep getting disclosures from cable ISPs, Mike Sievert at T-Mobile, Hans Vestberg, and the rest of the crew at Verizon, even AT&T chiming in. You know, who's got the best home internet, and, you know, the competitors don't offer a good service and it's inferior and all this other stuff. It's all a bunch of nonsense. We have the data. We know what customers think, and we know what they're choosing, and we know what's happening. Thanks to the fine folks at Recon Analytics, friend of the show, Roger Entner, we have the information and the data, and it tells all about the consumer and what they think and how they're spending their ducats. And, of course, T-Mobile has hit us with the liar sandwich, in which there's a truth sandwiched by two lies. And, Mike Sievert, a consummate professional at this technique. Anyways, Eugene, the sweaty armpits, he's back in full effect. Let's take a look at the data and see how he's wrong, but we'll also highlight how he's right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and link this article for you guys to follow along to, and then I'll also highlight this infographic, which actually comes out of an article from Fierce Wireless as well, but it's the Recon Analytics data. All right, so there was a quote from this article, and it goes back to this disclosure from Mike Sievert. He compared T-Mobile 5G home internet to a Toyota and fiber to a Ferrari, right? And sometimes folks just want a Toyota, you know? And at the time, I understood the analogy, and I totally got it. But, you know, the one thing I know about Toyotas is they hold value, and they're reliable. And NPS scores would reflect that, you know, national promoter scores. And it's just not the case. T-Mobile is not the Toyota. Apparently, the Toyota is actually Verizon 5G home internet. All right, let's take a look at this. So when it comes to net promoter scores, when it comes to internet service, home broadband solutions, fixed wireless access is actually kicking wireline's ass. Whether it's fiber or cable, does not matter. Fixed wireless is the bee's knees for the home internet customer. All right, and that means both T-Mobile and Verizon have higher NPS scores than fiber and also cable companies. Verizon's score, however, is very telling. Verizon's NPS score has doubled as T-Mobile's has remained stable in the most recent data from Recon Analytics. So let's take a look at this. I tried to download the file and it came out blurry. But anyways, Verizon fixed wireless NPS score came in at 47. T-Mobile's fixed wireless access came in at 33. Metro came in at 13, which is shocking because it's the same as the T-Mobile stuff. And then AT&T's fixed wireless is the lowest fixed wireless promoter score at 11. So ranked in order from best to worst, Verizon, T-Mobile, Metro, and then AT&T. And I'm not sure why AT&T's is so bad, but I could tell you guys right now, there's something that Verizon does that no other provider does. They have a QCI. They have a quality of service promise in their branding and the sales of the service. They tell you, we will give you speeds up to yada yada, blah, 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 whatever the tier is that you get. T-Mobile doesn't do that. Metro doesn't do that. AT&T doesn't really do that. They don't have a QCI. Well, AT&T tells you what to expect, but they're on QCI 9, which is the same as prepaid. Metro and T-Mobile home internet, also lowest tier priority. I mean, free lines get higher priority on the network than T-Mobile fixed wireless and Metro. Verizon is the only service that has a QCI, dedicated quality of service for the service. I've tested it. You guys have seen the videos. It's a QCI 7 type access. And to show you how NPS has been so good at Verizon, they felt comfortable raising the price on their service by $10 last quarter. And they're still growing at a clip of 400,000 net adds. So we clearly have a company that is doing fixed wireless better than the rest of the pack. Not that T-Mobile can't sell it. They clearly can. They sell 500,000 and 600,000 net adds a quarter. but they're not the best according to these net promoter scores. They're better than fiber, they're better than cable, they're better than satellite, they're better than DSL, but they're not better than Verizon fixed wireless. So Verizon taking the cake in terms of the NPS scores. All right, and then here it is on this line graph. You guys can see how it's all positioned. I will tell you guys, the thing about it is this isn't going to change. Like, maybe AT&T's fixed wireless access service gets better. That might get better. 11's very low. Maybe T-Mobile and Metro. I just don't see it. But Verizon's is going to get better. As they densify and add more cell sites and complete more upgrades and put more spectrum on air and get all of their network assets in a row, those NPS scores are only going to get better. I'll tell you what Verizon does really well with their fixed wireless. Not only do they have a QCI and a QoS, they also have a high-quality gateway. I don't think T-Mobile and Metro's gateways have been great. I don't know about the egg from AT&T. I think all that is part of this equation. But the NPS, the drivers, Verizon seems to have figured it out. And, maybe it's because T-Mobile has opened it up to too many folks. Maybe it's a lack of 10 gig fiber circuits to certain areas and it's constraining capacity. Maybe it's the gateways. It's a combination of things, but clearly Verizon is doing it better than T-Mobile. So I look back to the T-Mobile liar sandwich and the Eugene sweaty armpits liar sandwich. The way I look at it is they don't really sell a Toyota. And if fiber's a Ferrari and T-Mobile's not a Toyota, I say Verizon's the Toyota. I'm sorry, man, but I think the T-Mobile Home Internet, I think it's more of a Yugo. I just, or maybe it's, I don't know if you guys remember Cole from the Martin show. Maybe it's the Pacer. Just barely able to get Big Shirley in there and lug her around town. I don't know. But whatever the analogy is, I think the Toyota is the Verizon 5G home. I think, fiber is the Ferrari and cable and all that stuff. I think T-Mobile's the rust bucket. It definitely ain't the Volvizi. All right, what do you guys think of the data? What do you think of the NPS scores? What do you think is the difference maker? It's crazy. I really do believe that the Verizon service is only going to get better. That net promoter score is going to improve. And I don't think the T-Mobile one's going to improve because T-Mobile says that they're going to go capital light. They're not going to invest money into the 5G home internet. They're selling fallow capacity, excess capacity. They're not designing their network for 5G home internet. They just happen to have extra capacity. They'll sell it to you. It's more like bologna than filet. All right, what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.